I interviewed Charleston White back in 2019, before most of you even knew who Charleston White was. I'm going to play that interview in its entirety because I want you all to see what Charleston White was like before the fame. First thing you will notice is he isn't playing a character during this interview. He's just a regular guy from Fort Worth, Texas. No one was paying attention to Charleston White back in 2019 when I first interviewed him. It wasn't until he started saying the crazy-ish that people started paying attention. I was paying attention way back then. I saw something in him back then before most of the world did. Then he changed on us. And now we have what we have. You guys are used to the Charleston White you see today, the one with the crazy antics, the one that's macing gangsta rappers and talking ill of people. I knew Charleston White before all of this. Here is my interview with Charleston White from 2019. Here is Charleston White like you've never heard him before. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, Charleston White. I understand your uncle was a pimp.
Yeah, man. My Uncle Wayne, which was my mom's oldest brother, when I was born, I think probably about 1976 or early 1977, there was a movie that came out that was called Come Back Charleston Blue. My dad name is Charles. Mom named me Charleston. So when I come home from the hospital, Unc's lifestyle, he's the only boy amongst three girls, and he's the oldest. And so, that was his favorite movie. He gave me that name, Blue, Charleston Blue. And so it kind of stuck with me throughout life. I grew up under, my first 5, 6, 7 years of life, man. There's a lot of exposure to Uncle Wayne. My mother was a teenage mother. She had my brother at 15, had me at 17. My dad was a square guy, right? He was a square nigga. He went to the Navy, and then he got a job working within government. My mother was a teenage mother with a lot of ambition. And so she landed a job at General Motors in the early 80s, 81, 82.
Oh, the good years.
And so, yeah. And so our lives kind of went from rags to riches, seemingly like overnight for me because I was so young. But Uncle Wayne was a very pivotal male figure growing up because he was mom's only brother. My granddad owned a barbershop over on the south side of Fort Worth, in a very over off Allen and Hattie and Betsy, and if anybody from Fort Worth, they know what I'm talking about. And so the name of the barbershop was called Chopping Block, and everybody hustled outside and around that barbershop. And so I was always able to go and sit around other men and see the early hustlers from the late 70s, the early 80s. I got to see the guys who pushed the crack out into the streets. I got to see my granddad also. He worked at the bus barn, which the bus barn, that's the buses for the schools. So he had all the women at the bus barn. He had some selling pussy. He had some boosting clothes. So both my granddad and both my uncle, man, was real good with ladies. My mother is a very a strong black woman who's highly respected in the streets as well. My grandfather is one of the founders and one of the originals of this big, back then it was like a social club. It's called the Dappers. And it was a bunch of, dapper gentlemen who dressed real well. And so so I come from dapper men. I come from men who pimped. The significance about my uncle was he was what they would call a gorilla pimp. He was very abusive.
Yeah.
He beat women. And so I grew up believing that some of his prostitutes were my aunts. You know how they say that's your auntie, that's your Aunt Sharon. They didn't say that's his hoe, they say that's your auntie. So I grew up seeing them as aunts, right? So when I wake up at night, mom got a room for, you know, her big brother. He coming through with trash bags full of money. And so I got to see things that most children, you know, shouldn't see early on. Waking up in the middle of the night, man, hearing my uncle jump on who I thought at the time was my Aunt Sharon, and having to go to school 2-3 hours later, seeing her with the black eye. You learn to either become that kind of person or you learn to defy being that kind of person, man. And so growing up around women, I never wanted to be the one to inflict the pain. So I never vowed to be the one to slap around, and my uncle was vicious, man. He'll beat her in a minute. But it also left a certain a factor of intimidation that I had toward my uncle, where I couldn't, you know, that's a side that prevents you from bonding, man, with your dad or with your uncle or whomever you see abusing people. And so I saw that growing up, man. And I had an older brother. He nor I never been spanked by a man. We never been disciplined by a man. We always got to see the negative elements. The drunk man, the hustler man, the wife beater, the woman beater, the cheat man. So we never saw the doctors. We never saw the lawyers. We never saw the faithful husbands. I never seen a man get up and go to work. All I ever seen was mom get up and go to work. So growing up, in my young and impressionable mind, I didn't know men work because I'd never seen a man get up and go to work.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, that's deep, homie. That's deep. You know, I had my mother. She was very loving, very nurturing. She was a woman that had a moral compass, right? So she didn't lie. She taught us to do right because right is the right thing to do. She never condoned our wrongdoings. So she tried to teach us right, but because, you know, man, the negative elements that you see from your culture, your mom's brothers, your mom's cousins, spending the night over your homeboys' houses. So all the negative elements that you get exposed to, and you don't have anything to correct it. You don't have anything to rebut it.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to compare to, right? So you embrace it. When you cut on the television propagates what we see in our homes, right? If we watch a good movie, if we watch a good show on TV, man, we go see a nigga that kick a bitch ass, right? We know an uncle that kick a woman. We got homeboys who jump on women, but we don't say anything. It's propagated in television through imagery, through sight, and then it's solidified through the music. So as a kid, man, you see Uncle Joe, he whoop women. Uncle Wayne, he whoop women. Mom's cousin Jeffrey Nocky, they whoop women. You never see a man that's faithful to a woman. So you see what I'm saying? So
yeah, seen all the negative shit.
Yeah, homie, I get all the negative shit. And so, and mom is trying to teach us this. Boy, where you get this from? Oh, this girl bought it for me. Boy, give it back to her. So, you know, mom is saying things like, if you go over a woman's house, this is what mom's trying to teach a nigga. If you go over a woman's house and you open her ice box, you've used electricity. If you grab her remote and start flicking the television, punching on buttons with the remote, you using electricity. If you go in there and pee in her bathroom and flush her toilet, you done use some water. So you less than a man, son. If you go over there and you sleeping with that woman, you can't help that woman in those areas. So that's what mom is saying, right? Trying to teach us not to be the type of niggas, for one, to be sour and lazy and to be dependent upon women. On the flip end, you hearing all the bullshit from the men, from the players, the gigolos, the max, and it's counterproductive to what mom is teaching. Yeah. And so as a boy, I'm saying, yeah, mom, I hear what you're saying, but I need to identify with a man. I need a man to reiterate what mom is saying. So what mom is saying falls on deaf ears, because I got the man that I see, and then I got the music that I hear, and I got the movies that I watch to make mom say, no, I don't want what mama talking about.
Yeah, this life is a little more interesting over here.
Yeah.
I want to take a quick minute to ask you to hit that like button if you have not already. Yes, that means you listening right now. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the content so far. It really helps out the channel. And if you want similar content like this, please hit that subscribe button and join DustyVisionTV. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Every man, far as in my immediate family, has gone to prison.
Damn. Yep.
So with that aspect, you start noticing these things when you become, say, pre-adolescent, right? 11, 12, 13, 14. You can start to decipher and kind of make more of an understanding of what grown folks is saying. You start realizing that Aunt B went to jail for stealing. You start realizing who mama, and you know what I'm saying? So you can start rationalization because of brain development at that stage. So pre-adolescence is normally when the teens start getting a smart mouth. Peer pressure and what your friends think starts to become a greater role than what your parents say to do. So you start kind of what they say, smelling your piss, right? Yeah. So by the time I get to adolescence, just about every man in the family done gone to prison. You got the crack era, right? So as they coming back from prison, nobody's saying nothing bad about prison.
It's almost a badge of honor.
Say, it ain't no almost.
Yeah, it is. And they get celebrated more. They get celebrated more when they get home too. You know what I'm saying?
That I'm about to take you to that. So as a kid, we see that. I noticed how the family treated Uncle Wayne. Uncle Wayne pull up in that Rolls Royce. He gonna have them suits on. He got them pretty high yellow women, man, everybody, and he got the briefcase with the money in it, with the gold chain. I'm seeing how when he come around, how the other family members and everybody in the community responds to him, compared to how they respond to Uncle Curtis, who's struggling to keep the blue collar job.
Yeah.
As kids, we see how they treat the dope dealing uncles compared to the uncle that ain't be kicking the ass. So you start taking note of what kind of man you want to be early on as a boy. So if you don't never get to see no man, what characteristics and what traits do you begin to take on as a boy? The shit you see on television.
Yeah.
So as a kid, so I'm 12, 11, 12, I'm noticing the difference between high school graduation parties, and welcome home prison parties.
A big difference, yo.
I'm starting to notice this at the pre-adolescent stage, right?
Prison parties are popping when they get out.
Oh man, the whole community, the whole neighborhood come out for the welcome home party. But for the graduation party, it ain't that popping.
Nope.
So and notice what I keep saying. I keep saying in my young, impressionable, because young minds are very impressionable. It's easy to impress a young kid's mind. It's easy to persuade. It's easy to mold it. So all I'm saying is, man, when the guys come home from prison, man, it's like a wow. So when I'm at recess in 6th grade, and all the other kids, they running, playing soccer, they playing grab ass with the girls, nigga, I'm over there playing thug. I'm talking about what kind of party I'm gonna have when I come home from prison, like so and so. So I'm also, as I'm seeing that, certain movies is starting to come out. So we're getting away from movies like House Party,
Colors, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society.
Got Colors, Boys. So these type of movies now are starting to come out, and it's being introduced to us in culture. So when you say a badge of honor, it became a badge of honor, homie. And even right now today, as a 43-year-old man, I sometimes feel like I missed out on something by not going to prison. I feel like a nigga got the ups on me, cause he can always see it. Shit, nigga, you ain't made it on such and such, y'all. Nigga, you couldn't have made it on. He got that on me. So it makes me feel
less macho.
Yeah. So what I had to do, I had to go root my identities, homie, in something else that didn't revolve. It didn't have to do with a detriment, right? And that's fatherhood.
Yeah. Most
black men's identity is rooted in the bravado stripes of having to commit crimes, selling dope, or being in the streets. So I got that from childhood. So it wasn't nothing for me. It wasn't nothing for me when I got arrested not to go. I didn't care about going to juvenile because I'm getting my badge of honor. I'm getting my stripes.
Yeah, it's like freshman year in college or something. I want to take a quick minute to ask you to hit that like button if you have not already. Yes, that means you listening right now. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the content so far. It really helps out the channel. And if you want similar content like this, please hit that subscribe button and join DustyVisionTV. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
When I first went to juvenile, my first time ever being arrested, it was at an eighth grade school dance, man. I'm showing out in front of the school, man. And I picked some roses out of the garden that's around the flower pole, you know, the school roses. Well, because of my reputation and my behavior, my troubled behavior in school, they considered that a criminal mischief.
Goddamn.
Well, I'm talking smart. Well, my mom done moved us out of Stop 6. We done moved out of Fort Worth, and we done moved to Arlington, right? We're in the suburbs now. But I'm in the suburbs, hollering Stop 6. I'm from the hood. I'm mimicking what I done heard other street men say that I done been around. So, nigga, they take me to juvenile for the weekend. That Friday night, I stay Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, once I got there and I realized you're not getting raped, I realized everything, the stereotypes that you believe doesn't really happen. The fear of going no longer exists.
And you said something that I found interesting on one of your videos. You said whenever you would go to jail, juvenile hall, or whatever the case is, you liked it because that was the only place where you felt you got love or you got some talking to.
From a man.
Yeah.
There was men, Big Al, and anybody been through juvenile, nigga Kimbo Road, nigga Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown worked in the school. Big Al, Ted, Tony, Miss Sanchez, man, there was so many. I looked forward to the affirmation that I got, right? The longest I was gonna stay was 10 days. The least 24 hours, be out the next day. But just that contact, homie. Just that contact, even though I had to get in trouble to get it. That's why a lot of kids don't give a damn about getting in trouble, because sometimes the negative attention is just as equal as receiving the positive attention. So, man, just being able to go to juvenile detention and Mr. Brown saying, Charlie, what you done this time? Pull me off to the side, man, and just being able to have that one-on-one time with that man. Damn. If it wasn't nothing but for 10 minutes. But see, back then you got to think, homie, this is early 90s, 90, 91. So there's no really such thing as children committing murders. That hadn't come about yet. And America still believes that they can have great impacts on children. It was still spirit of people who, even our teachers back then, homie, it was still people who poured their whole entire lives in the working with children, and they was barely making it.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? And so I got to be exposed to them kind of people. I got to be exposed to people who would stand up against their employers when they done wrong against a kid. So I landed in trouble during a great time in America. I was blessed to be in that era during that time when people really believed children could change.
But at 14, you caught a murder case?
Prior to me, let me see, me, Jose Rodriguez, Anthony Lightfoot, Marquette Bush, and man, when I got to Giddings State School, I don't recall any other kid coming from Fort Worth, Texas, who had gone to Giddings State School for murder. One of my good friends, Jose Rodriguez, he's one of the first children in Fort Worth, Texas, to receive a 30-year sentence for murder. Ooh. So we was charged with capital murder on September 18, 1991. Jose came in probably 4 or 5 days after that. They killed the neighborhood crime watch guy. Anthony Lightfoot came in with 2 attempted capital murders. There were other guys, there was other children who was in juvenile detention center at the time. Guys like Cesed, Derek Williams, Lil Rank. Man, there were other guys who had committed murder, but they had got tried as adults. So myself, Jose Rodriguez, George Ramirez, George got 25 years, Jose got 30, I got 12. Josh Henry, they was the skinheads who killed this black guy who worked at General Motors, real big case. So we were the first children in Tarrant County to be what they call adjudicated. There's a difference between when a juvenile commits murder, when a juvenile commits robbery, all of juvenile crimes are considered family court involvement. So no matter what a juvenile does, their case remains in family court. Compared to an adult, when an adult does something wrong, they're in criminal court. So the terminology that's used for a juvenile is adjudication. So that's why you hear some people in adult court get deferred adjudicated, right? So there's stipulation to adjudication. A child is adjudicated. They cannot be convicted. An adult is convicted. They can be adjudicated in certain circumstances, right? So we are the first children to be tried, sentenced, and adjudicated for the crimes of capital murder and murder. We're the first generation of children in the state of Texas who began to commit these crimes, where Texas had to create a juvenile law where a kid in the state of Texas who commit violent crimes can be sentenced up to 40 years. Damn, so a 12-year-old can get 40 years, a 13-year-old can get 40 years. And so I fall under the generation of children where that law was created.
So up until then, it was a badge of honor to go to jail, in and out of juvie hall and all that. When you heard you were getting 12 years, did you still have that feeling, or were you like, God damn, I fucked up?
Well, it's hard to answer that question. As a child, you don't know you fucked up. You know you done something wrong, and you know the feelings that you feel. There's no way for a kid to understand I killed somebody. There's brain development, right? Yeah. All the science data, all the medical research has shown that the human brain does not develop to or at around age 25. That's why your insurance rates don't go down till after 25, right? So everybody has this data. So when you look at a 13-year-old kid and you say, man, what the fuck you do that for? And they say, I don't know.
They really don't.
Because the front of the brain, right? There's a part of the front of the brain, the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex doesn't connect, right, until 25, 26, 27. And that depends on your traumatic life experiences. If you've been abused, if a nigga been abused, his brain might not develop till he's 30.
Yeah.
Or later, right? So the prefrontal cortex is the front part of your brain that has to do with logic and reasoning, decision making. Until that develops and connects, most children are kind of like animals. They're impulsive. They make decisions off impulse, what they feel. That's why you see what I'm saying? So that's why children are so impulsive. So when I committed my crime, Society didn't have that data because we had never started committing those type of crimes before. When I committed my crime, Hillary Clinton had just made a bold statement throughout America that sent a shockwave of fear through America, right? She said that there was going to be a wave of children that's born, that they was going to be super predators, that they was going to be
I remember
bigger,
that. Yeah.
faster. She said that they was going to be stronger criminals.
Shit.
Yeah. And so what happened when she said that, now here you got children starting to commit murder. So wow, that sent a shock wave of fear. And not only did it scare white people, it scared black people too. That's why Maxine Waters and Sheila Jackson and Reverend Jesse Jackson, all of those people aligned with Bill Clinton with the 3 strikes minimum, and the Democratic Black Caucus went with the 3 strike minimum, mandatory minimum law. They fucked us over with the mass incarceration because they thought what Hillary Clinton said was true. And so with that brain development, man, to answer your question, I remember telling my mother, I wanted to go do 6 months. My brother had done 6 months. I wanted to go do 9 months because back then, the juvenile facilities, some of them was co-ed, so they had boys and girls in there. And you got weekend furloughs, you got to wear your own clothes. So I wanted to go for 3 months. Plus, I had flunked the 8th grade. And one thing I knew about the Texas Youth Commission, once you went through to the Youth Commission, when you got out, they put you in your right grade. So I wanted to go somewhere, homie. Don't get it. I wanted to go because I wanted the welcome home party, remember? I just didn't think that I would be gone forever. As a kid, you can't wrap your mind around that. So I hear them saying 40 years, but in my mind, man, they ain't gonna get no kid no 40 years. I've been listening to them old niggas, man, they gonna slap you on the wrist. So then when I get to 12, and they had sat me down and got me to understand what was going to happen. Okay, you got 12 years. You're going to have to do at least 4 years before you can come back and see the judge before they can decide whether you go home or you be transferred to prison. Well, to a 14-year-old kid, homie, I'm in the 8th grade, right? Supposed to be in the 9th. You telling me I got to spend my whole motherfucking high school career somewhere? A freshman can't think of what he gonna do when he's a senior. That seemed like a lifetime. So when they told me that, I couldn't wrap my mind around 4 years. I broke down and told mama, man, I broke down crying. Now I ain't tough. Now I'm a kid now. Cause y'all trying to get me to understand something, man. I couldn't understand what we had done. I really didn't have no remorse. I just know what we done was wrong, but I felt like, man, he didn't have no business doing what so I couldn't process the shit, right? So I tell mama, man, mama, I can do 2 years, but I can't do 4 years. And man, that woman looked at me with all the strength she could muster up and looked me directly in my eyes and said, son, you ain't got no choice. What you gonna do, kill yourself? You ain't got no choice but to do it, son. You did it. And so, man, in my mind, I can't process this. So you become, you take on what any other kid would take on, man. You become depressed. You take on physical sickness. You start throwing up. You can't eat, man, because you got to leave you got to go away, and you don't know what you're going to. You don't know. You don't have no idea what's ahead.
I want to lay this on my audience right now because after hearing this man's voice and hearing his story, you would never think that he walks around with a Make America Great Again hat. Right? You are, yes.
I don't know what other time nobody else done lived in.
Break it down.
But I was born in 1977. I ain't never seen a black person hang from a tree.
Break it down.
I once saw the Ku Klux Klan in 1986, but we was in Monroe, Louisiana, and they was doing a march, and I ain't hear them scream the word nigger. I killed a white man. I went to jail for killing a white man, homie. Something most niggas have never done or never even think about doing. I went inside an institution bragging about it. I had a white governor, I had a white judge, I had a white lawyer, I had a white prosecutor, and I got to see compassion. I had a white victim's family. I had white people, man, we killed that man and didn't have no remorse for it, man. And when I went back at 18 years old, man, them white people looked at me with tears in their eyes and say, man, we forgive you. Man, I know some niggas, if you walk through their grass, nigga, they won't forgive you. Let alone if you kill one of their family members. I remember in 1980, man, when you can put beer in a baby's bottle and you didn't have to worry about CPS knocking on your door.
Whiskey if you had a toothache.
Say, man, I remember in the 1980s when two black people fought, it was almost unimaginable to see you stomp and kick on another black man laying on the ground. I remember black people used to celebrate Juneteenth in the 1980s. We got new clothes, man. I remember we had family reunions often in the 1980s, man. I remember black people used to have to be home by supper time and sit at the table, and you used to have to say, can you pass me the potatoes? And y'all had to pass the tape. I remember, homie, when black people didn't shoot up each other's houses. I remember drive-by was unheard of in the black families. I remember when black people used to fight, homie, they used to have to literally kiss and make up, or they got their ass whooped. Man, I remember on Sundays, homie, in many black households, it was meals somewhere. I remember in the 80s, homie, when people got off on crack and ran off and left their children, anybody raised them. Did you hear what I said? Anybody raised them. They didn't mistreat them or none of that, homie.
Yeah.
I remember them days. Now, if you can think back farther than that, when they used to kick a nigga in the ass, then you got every right to kind of say you don't remember when it was great, homie. I remember when you can commit a crime, my nigga, like murder, and they'll give you a second chance to redeem yourself at life.
Break it down, dog.
I remember, homie. I remember when school teachers was a lot older and they didn't dress sexy and you didn't fuck your teachers. Nigga, they would come home and tell you, man, they would come home to teach you. Man, I remember it used to be candy ladies in our community.
Oh, yeah, everybody had a candy lady.
Say, man, I remember, homie, when your neighbor could whoop your child. And it was understood that you didn't whoop that child for nothing. And when that child came home, they got another whooping. I remember when sagging first came, homie, and we was sagging our pants, and grown folks would ride down the street and holler out, pull them goddamn pants up, and all of us would just pull them up. Don't know who, we just know a grown person said it. I remember, homie. So I wear that hat with pride, my nigga. I remember in the 80s, homie, black people was black people was thriving. Even if they put crack in our communities, they didn't make us pick it up.
Okay. Yep.
We had some people that didn't touch it. We had some people didn't fool with it. Even though it was put there, even though that poison is put on your table, we had some people didn't touch it because they knew it was poison. So if I give you poison and you know it's poison, I ain't wrong.
It's your choice to take that.
So, man, that's what I mean by I remember. And can't nobody else not make me remember those days, homie. The 1980s. And I'm not the hood. I'm the nigga who mother. I'm the traditional. I'm the typical traditional child who come from the single parent home that comes out the middle class, upper middle class neighborhood that has the single mom who works to provide the kids with all the name brand stuff, but he want to go back to the hood in the ghetto and act like his ghetto cousins who wish they could have what he have. I'm the unappreciative kid who mother works hard to make it out the ghetto, and I put all that pressure on mama trying to act like those images because I never had that man.
Thank you for tuning in to Dusty Vision TV. Please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now. Charleston White got gangsters apologizing now? Say it ain't so, Joe. I woke up this morning to something I thought I'd never see in my life. The guy who talked shit to Charleston White and got pepper sprayed, who was part of Sauce Walka's crew, released a video apologizing. Apparently he got DP'd also. The streets are truly a myth. Anyone thinking about joining a gang or jumping into the streets should watch this video first.
Hey, look, check this out. This Star Life of TSF. Just letting y'all know, getting the record straight. Everything that happened yesterday was a big, and that was on me. You know what I'm saying? It was on me and only me. That was not, it had nothing to do with TSF. That was Star Life that did all that. Nobody sprayed Sauce Walka. Nobody sprayed TSF. TSF was in the building. That was my homies that came with me. Y'all gotta remember, I'm new to this. I'm new to this industry. I'm just used to doing shit myself.
You see that
so I did something that was only detrimental to the business. That's giving me a chance, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just putting it out there because I see all these stories. You got Sauce Walka name in it. That had nothing to do with Walk. That was all Star Life. And my homies, not TSF. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be man enough to say I messed up. We came back to my mansion in Vegas. We ran some fades, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how it works when it's brotherhood. You do something bad,
Random fades for sure.
You do something bad, you got to do that shit. It's all love, this is Squabble Factory, you know what I'm saying? And if you're from Oklahoma, you know how Star get down. So I was with all that. My brothers right here, I messed up, but I promise you, this is not a representation of Oklahoma. Don't put this on nobody but me. Star Life messed up, but I promise you I'm gonna get this right.
Really, nigga?
Once again, I'm not a fan of Charleston White talking ill of the dead. I think that's disgusting, but I gotta respect the fact that he is willing to back it up in public, which is way more than 90% of you real nigga YouTubers would ever do. For the past few years since Charleston White popped up on the scene, all I saw were videos of people saying, Charleston White better not come to my city. If he come to my city, it's gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, Charleston White travels wherever the hell Charleston White wants to, and he hasn't been touched yet. I remember a bunch of LA dudes talking about, if Charleston White come to LA, he won't leave in one piece. Meanwhile, Charleston White has been back and forth to LA several times just this past year, and nothing happened to him. And then when he does come to your city, the real niggas use the excuse that, oh, he run with the police, man. I ain't gonna mess with him, or the Fed's gonna be knocking at my door. You mean you're willing to take penitentiary chances for less? Because, I don't know, a nigga steps on your shoe at a party or spills drink on your shirt, but you don't think that it's a good idea to mess with Charleston White, huh? Boy, stop. And every time I see Charleston White, he's rolling dolo by himself, or it's just him and that other dude, Dewberry, he always runs with. I never see him with an entourage. And that's the same with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Remember years ago, a bunch of goofies were telling 6ix9ine, you better not come to my city. If you come to my city, it's gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine is still running around doing whatever the fuck he wants to, and the only thing that has happened to him so far is some dudes in Miami tried to gain some clout by supposedly jumping him at a gym. Kids, the streets are a myth. Don't let these street dudes fool you. Don't let these older street dudes send you on missions that will land you in prison or an early grave. Because a lot of these street guys aren't living the life they claim to be. I never thought I'd see a bona fide gangbanger apologizing to Charleston White just so he can save his record deal. I think this past week, Charleston White has proven that he has way more heart than the average real nigga.
Yeah, we're with the gang Team Wood, TSF. What up, Charleston? You see? Already. What's going on?
You heard what I said? Keep his name out your mouth. Whose name? Nip. Yeah, nigga.
So what? Do something about it. Hold on. Do something about it. Do something about it. Watch out, work. I put that on the video. I put that on oh, why you spraying shit? Why that nigga spraying shit?
See, the nigga waited till the camera to get on and try to talk tough.
Yeah.
Nigga, they didn't have to go up the stairs. The nigga could have walked directly to me, my nigga, and said to me whatever they wanted to say to me. Bitch ass nigga, wait till they go to walking up the stairs, my nigga. He could have walked direct to me. It wasn't nobody but me and Dewberry, my nigga. Me and Dewberry, 30 of them niggas. Keep Nip name out your mouth. Nigga, we snapped. When I shot that Mason, every day when talking about why you shoot that Mason? Get your ass in there, boy. Get in the house. It's rough out here. Get your bitch ass in there talking with all that pretty red on, nigga. All you niggas got your hair twisted up nicely and pretty, nigga.
Hey, Phoenix, I love y'all, man. We had an incredible weekend, incredible night last night. The fight was great. We left with the knockout. We gonna speak on Charleston White real quick. Let me clear the air, tell y'all the real. First and foremost, y'all better leave that nigga Charleston White alone, man. Stop fucking with that man Batman. Stop fucking with the Joker. That nigga Batman and Joker put together, that's the baddest man on earth. I like him. I said, hey man, you gotta love Charleston. And I'm gonna say this too. For every street nigga and every gangster in the world, bro, if you ever see Charleston White and you actually get into it with this man, bro, you are a peon, bro. You is not no real gangster if you getting into it with a nigga like this and you know what's that. But what I will tell y'all is this. I did come in the building with some of my good friends from California that was on some peon ass shit, acting like they friends with Nipsey Hussle. And that nigga from Rolling 60s know them, and Charleston sprayed their ass down, and that's what they get.
Hey, look, check this out. This Star Life of TSF. Just letting y'all know, getting the record straight. Everything that happened yesterday was a big, and that was on me. You know what I'm saying? It was on me and only me. That was not, it had nothing to do with TSF. That was Star Life that did all that. Nobody sprayed Sauce Walker. Nobody sprayed TSF. TSF was in the building. That was my homies that came with me. Y'all got to remember, I'm new to this. I'm new to this industry. I'm just used to just running, doing shit myself. And so I did something that was almost detrimental to the business. That's giving me a chance, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just putting it out there because I see all these stories. You got Sauce Walker name in it. That had nothing to do with Walk. That was all Star Life. And my homies, not TSF. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be man enough to say I messed up. We came back to my mansion in Vegas. We ran some fades, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how it works when it's brotherhood. You do something bad,
Random fades for sure.
Random fades, you got to
Squabble factory for sure.
Squabble factory. This is Squabble factory. You know what I'm saying? And if you're from Oklahoma, you know how Star get down. So I was with all that. My brothers right here. I messed up, but I promise you, this is not a representation of Oklahoma. Don't put this on nobody but me. Star Life messed up, but I promise you I'm going to get this right. And like I said, won't happen again, but will happen again. Album coming out soon, nigga.
Yeah, my got his respect back. Yeah. From the set, handle your business like a man. Looked at each other eye to eye, fist to fist, with our respect. To the end of the day, we still got the Splash Bros album coming. And like nigga said, ain't there air breast, mace, none of that shit. Sauce Walker and I ain't going to jail. Makes me touch me, whatever, I'm going to jail or some death, whatever it is. Or we was there to whoop ass. Yeah, we the Squabble Factory. We was there to makes me and I ain't in jail.
We was in the building to kick some ass, man. TSF business. My bad.
Did you see that jerk?
I don't like or agree with Charleston White's YouTube antics. I don't agree with Charleston White dissing the dead. I actually find it disgusting. But I gotta respect the fact that he's willing to back it up in public, which is something that 90% of you real niggas on YouTube would never do. I found it absolutely hilarious when Charleston White maced Soulja Boy and his crew last year.
They didn't know what had happened to that motherfucker. Whole time, just for goodness sake. Hey, I hit that motherfucking ass
one more time, just for goodness sake. That nigga Soulja Boy said,
How did you see that jerk?
man, you, and he say, bro, you maced me? Yeah, nigga. Hey, I say, yeah, nigga. That nigga say, I don't know what 12 nigga want to talk. I don't know you nigga want to talk. Ain't no, next time you nigga better holler with a bullhorn, you better use the police bullhorn and say, hey, we want to talk. Other than that, nigga, shit, nigga, you can't just walk up to no nigga like me, hollering about I want to talk. I don't want to talk.
Man, bro, I'm outside, nigga, slide, nigga. I look up, I'm like, hold on, ain't this the nigga? Ain't this the nigga talking crazy on the internet, nigga? Oh, nigga, what's happening? Nigga, what's up? Nigga, what up? Nigga, what's up, nigga? Big SOD, nigga, what's up with all that shit, nigga? Nigga get the Oh, God. Hey, nigga, get the
I don't like people who talk shit like Charleston White, but what I dislike more are bullies. Especially bullies who pick their battles. You got YouTube guys with all kinds of beef in the street, sometime within their own hoods. They're afraid to confront those beefs, drive to the hood to catch a couple fades to squash things, but they'll pick on some 115-pound, shit-talking, little half-blind, ugly-looking, balding, munchkin motherfucker from Fort Worth, Texas, like Charleston White. That's clown shit to me. This past weekend, Charleston White was in Phoenix, Arizona for a celebrity boxing match. And what a busy weekend he had with the ops. And in hindsight, Charleston White took the W 3 times. He was 3-0 this weekend and didn't even box. It all started at the weigh-in when Charleston White's opponent pushed him, to which Charleston White pulled out mace from his pocket and sprayed the dude straight in the face. Probably the top 5 funniest things I've seen in all of 2023.
He needs some milk. How did you see that jerk?
That was his first win.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
The next W came not too long after that, just before the fight. Charleston White seemed to be in a hallway of some sorts. A dude rolls up on him, confronts him, and pushes Charleston White. Charleston White then pulled out a pig poker. Yeah, you heard that right. A long-ass, sharp pig poker and sliced dude's head open with it. I don't want to play the video because it may be too graphic for YouTube and I don't want to lose my monetization, but the video is out there and you could easily search for it. But here's Charleston White and the person who got poked up responding to the incident.
I hit that nigga with that part of that pig poker and put a hole in his head. Nigga. Yeah, bitch ass nigga, think y'all gonna keep fucking with me, nigga. These bitch ass, yeah, you keep wanting to fight outside the ring, okay? Mace you outside the ring. Okay, you wanna fight again, huh? I change your motherfucking mind. Put a hole in that nigga head. Nigga had him leaking. Had him leaking. Come here, nigga. I told you get your hand out of the pocket, nigga. Get your hand out of the pocket.
Charleston White just hit me in the head with a knife, bro. Charleston White just hit me in the head with a knife. The elevator. Hold on. Let me tell y'all what happened. Look, they didn't tell me. Look, first of all, I want to apologize to all my friends and family out there, that anybody that paid for the pay-per-view live and didn't get to see me fight. They didn't tell me, bro, my shit.
Win number 2 for Charleston White.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Win number 3. Sauce Walker and his crew confront Charleston White this same past weekend. Words were exchanged back and forth between Charleston White, who seemed to be rolling dolo, or at least with one other person. No cops, though, no security. And on the other side were a bunch of Sauce's dudes. Anyway, one of them makes a slight move that looks like he's getting ready to approach Charleston White. And what does Charleston White do? He pulls out his mace and gives it a little squirt. And what it looked like is he got about 4 or 5 of them, including some ladies that were with Sauce.
You heard what I said? Keep his name out your mouth. Whose name? Nip. Nip.
So what? Do something about it.
Hold on.
Do something about it. Do something about it. Watch out, work. I put that on the video. Why you spraying? Why did you spray?
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Win number 3. I don't like or agree with Charleston White's YouTube antics. I don't agree with Charleston White dissing the dead. I actually find it disgusting. But I gotta respect the fact that he's willing to back it up in public, which is something that 90% of you real niggas on YouTube would never do.
Hey, Phoenix, I love y'all, man. We had an incredible weekend, incredible night last night. The fight was great. We left with the knockout. We gonna speak on Charleston White real quick. Let me clear the air and tell y'all the real. First and foremost, y'all better leave that nigga Charleston White alone, man. Stop fucking with that man Batman. Stop fucking with the Joker. That nigga Batman and Joker put together, that's the baddest man on earth. I like him. I said, hey man, you gotta love Charleston. And I'm gonna say this too. For every street nigga and every gangster in the world, bro, if you ever see Charleston White and you actually get into it with this man, bro, you are a peon, bro. You is not no real gangster if you getting into it with a nigga like this and you know what's that. But what I will tell y'all is this. I did come in the building with some of my good friends from California that was on some peon ass shit, acting like they friends with Nipsey Hussle. They now nigga from Rolling 60s know them, and Charleston sprayed their ass down, and that's what they get.
Charleston White is a puppeteer, and you are his puppets. Everything Charleston White says he did, you believe, and you run with it. Charleston White says he called King Yella's probation officer, and you dumb bloggers and YouTubers post it on your platforms. Charleston White says he shot himself in a strip club, and you dumb bloggers and YouTubers post it on your platforms. Charleston White says he cheated on his wife and he's now homeless, living out of his car, and you dumb vloggers and YouTubers post it on your platforms. Charleston White supposedly goes to Chicago and pulls a pistol out in the middle of a podcast, and you dumb bloggers and YouTubers post it on your platforms.
This is what I'm saying. You can't make me curl my King Von mama. Fuck that. I helped this mama. Why do I need to know about 2 dead ass niggas? I don't give a fuck about Duck or Vaughn. I helped this living mama. Fuck them dead niggas that preached about killing niggas. Fuck y'all pain. Give me back my goddamn money, hoe. Or suck my dick, bitch. In Chicago. Fuck y'all. Suck my dick. I keep a goddamn for whatever. Nigga, I don't give a fuck about shit. Nigga, I keep a mother
Nigga, I keep a motherfucker, nigga. Nigga, I keep a motherfucker. Chicago.
What you grab your
Say, homie, you better, nigga, what you got? Man, you better sit down, homie. What you mean, what I'm on? Nigga, don't f with me with a gun in my hand, nigga.
Not knowing all of that was planned by Charleston White. He's mastered the internet because he's mastered you. For the past year, everyone and their mama who has a YouTube channel said what they're gonna do to Charleston White if he comes to their city. Man, that nigga better never come to my city. I'ma smack his ass up. I'ma make him a pack. Yeah, okay. Just like you did Tekashi 6ix9ine, huh? Remember that? Charleston White said, fuck Atlanta, then went to Atlanta to do a big-ass comedy show. Charleston White said, fuck LA and everything about us several times. Then he comes to LA a month later, goes live, and walks around willy-nilly. Does Charleston White have more heart than the average street dude? I'm starting to think so. Not many street dudes would go to the ops hood after disrespecting them several times and go live and walk around like nothing. Does Charleston White have more heart than the average street dude? I don't like any of the stuff Charleston White says about dead people, dead rappers, at all. I actually don't care for a lot of his antics. But I do like how he is pulling you along by your strings and making you go in whatever direction he wants you to go in. You're a puppet, and he's your puppeteer. You wake up every morning, and the first thing you do is you go to YouTube, you go to the search section, you type in Charleston White, then you filter it for the last 24 hours to see what his latest antics are. I know you do. I'm talking about you, listening right now. Then what you do is you go to your crappy YouTube channel and you make a bunch of videos and you do reaction videos and you do reactions to reaction videos. Then you do reactions to reactions to reactions videos. Like, oh my God. I don't like reaction videos. The only person I mess with who does reaction videos is Milk74.
What's the deal? Welcome or welcome back to It's Milk TV. Go ahead and smash that subscribe and that like button for me. It's Milk Gang, north, south, east, west the deal. Y'all already know the script. Let's go ahead and take them 7.4 seconds if you haven't already and get our minds right before we get into this. Come on.
He does it properly. He adds a bit of comedy to it, some wit. He makes it interesting. The rest of you, most of you who do reaction videos, that shit is lame. Most of you wouldn't even have cracking YouTube channels if it weren't for Charleston White. If you didn't post about or talk about Charleston White. You dislike everything about him. But every other video on your channel is discussing him. You're infatuated with Charleston White. I interviewed Charleston White almost 3 years ago. The interview never took off because not many people at that time really knew who Charleston White was. I heard about him on Facebook years before he even popped up on YouTube. And I liked his message. Keep in mind, this is before all the F this rapper, F that rapper, F this rapper's mom, F that rapper's mom. Take yourself back to early 2020, late 2019. I was on Facebook, digging through the Facebook jungles. Yes, Facebook has its own jungle. YouTube ain't the only one with the jungle. I was popping on Facebook before I even made a name on YouTube. I was getting thousands and thousands of views on Facebook before I even started a YouTube channel. But I saw Charleston White on Facebook. I saw a lot of his videos being posted before he hopped on YouTube, and I liked his message. You could go back. Go back to just type in Dusty Vision Charleston White. I have a video from early 2020 where I interviewed him. We're going on 3 years. I liked his message. I still believe there is a good message under all that bullshit he throws on top of it. But I think Charleston White only does that because that's the only way you dumb niggas are gonna pay attention. He has to stoop down to the dumb niggas level to get them to pay attention to what his underlying message is. I personally think that is very risky. But what Martin Luther King did was risky also, wasn't it? Now, you may think I'm crazy for even putting Martin Luther King and Charleston White's name in the same sentence, but to some of these youngsters, Charleston White is today's Martin Luther King. I know to you old motherfuckers like myself, that may sound crazy. But it is what it is. Even though this guy has a lot of people who hate him and would rather see him harmed, I bet the amount of people that fuck with Charleston White is much higher than the people who dislike him. People are tired of black on black crime and killings. People are tired of music that pushes a certain message that makes black people look a certain way. People are tired of black fathers leaving their children. Charleston White says what a lot of black America thinks, but are too afraid to say. Because remember, most people in the black community don't want gangs in their neighborhood. Okay? Many people in the black community grew up without a father. Many of the people in the black community have had a family member shot by a stray bullet. So a lot of the stuff Charleston White says, I would bet 90% of it most black people agree with. If they're able to make it past the bullshit he spews. And as for you YouTubers, you vloggers, you bloggers, you TikTokers, you whatever you want to call yourself, you are the reason Charleston White is where he is today. You are keeping Charleston White's name relevant. But you know what? He's also keeping you relevant. Without Charleston White, your channel would have been dead a long time ago.